Question. I don't know.
In this lonely ass world, it's getting colder. I'm not going nowhere if I cannot take my boat there. My mind was bred a little different, yeah, from my own past. If I see heat, why the fuck would I wanna go there? Mama, I make you smile. Mama, your little nigga came from wildin'. Mama, always got in trouble, I was shouted. Mama, now I'm staring at shit. Mama, I'm the pilot. Mama, if I want something, I'ma go get it. Mama, swim with the sharks, piranhas, and fishes. Mama, it's so hard down here, God is my witness. Mama, I know where I'm going. Mama, I'm a fan. It's hard not knowing who is really gonna be there for me. I wish you could be here to see me the day I start touring. Shit be on my mind every second when I'm not recording. I'm waking up conversating with the Lord every morning. I mistakenly took the wrong path, I had to rewind. I fumbled trying to move too fast, I had to keep trying. Growing up, I got in trouble, told myself to keep lying. So much stress be building up, swear I be needing me time.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is your girl Reese, best that ever did it. Oh wow. I am so glad today is hump day. We're in the middle of the week and we're already on January the 4th. Can you believe it? I cannot believe it. So it's a lot of stuff I can't believe. I can't believe I'm here with all you beautiful people. And I can't believe that I got super people in the building in the house with me today. First and foremost, let me introduce you to my other half, to my sweetie Petey, Bernice Smith. Say good morning, Miss Smith, Lady
Good
B.
morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope everybody had a good night and that you're doing well this morning.
Yes, 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 honey. And because we have such a good, juicy topic that we're going to discuss today, I invited a couple of friends. Well, we all know that Michelle is our resident white girl. She comes on every Wednesday and Friday when she can, people. She might stop in other days, but Michelle is down with the Morning Mac show. Michelle Pucciarelli. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning. And thank you for having me on as your resident white girl. Much
Love
appreciated.
it.
Much love.
And then we also have with us today. This is my mental. She keep me in check mentally. I run stuff crazy stuff by her. She don't judge me. She don't tell me Reese don't kill that person. She don't do that. She just run it through me mentally. My mental guru, my muse, and my almost white girl, the blue phoenix herself. Good morning.
Yes, really?
Excuse me, ma'am. Hi, you guys. I'm the Blue Phoenix. Thank you so much for allowing me to be in on your panel. Thank you again. And I'm not almost white. Okay.
Reese, you
I
ain't
say
like
almost.
Dr. Phoenix. Uh,
Oh goodness. I said
mhm.
almost Phoenix. I did say
What you
almost.
say, Bernie?
I said, she ain't much darker than you. She's sitting
That's
up
what
there
I'm
talking
saying.
about you.
I
I'm the
love all
darkest
of
thing on
you.
the panel.
All that lovely chocolate up there.
Hmm. Okay, we got a good show today. It's packed full of good gossip. Bernice, girl, take it away. This is a segment of the show, people that's out there following us, where we like to gossip, or Molly call it telling the news, but I call it let's spill the tea, honey. What's going on?
Okay. Our first story, and when I read it, it was just crazy. A funeral home director gets 20 years in prison for cutting up dead bodies and secretly selling the parts.
What?
Secretly
Wow.
selling the part. Who gonna buy dead
Yeah.
body parts?
They do. They do. People buy them. Like what they call them, laboratories. They run tests and all kinds of crazy stuff. So you just. But it says a Colorado funeral home operator was sentenced to 20 years for fraud. The DOJ said Megan Hayes sold body parts without family's permission in a grisly scheme. Reuters uncovered. Has betrayed the trust of hundreds of victims and mutilated their loved ones. So she definitely got 20 years. And the crazy thing is this is not the only story out here. There are many stories out here. They taking the organs, they doing different stuff with our loved ones once they pass. That's why I always tell people, don't put valuable stuff on your family members because they're gonna rob them. It's crazy.
It's insane. I'm not an organ donor. I'm not an organ donor because years ago I saw this thing on 2020 when I was home with my mother that there was like, if you're in question, but somebody needs an organ for a transplant, there were people like letting you slip. And I'm like, no, 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 no,
no. Yeah, I saw that too. And I'm scared now. I don't think nobody want my organs though.
That's why I'm a smoker.
Wow. Well, next story, Bernice.
Our next story. Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, sued for allegedly punching teenager during a pickup game. So this week, he's a star evidently. Reports just surfaced into the lawsuit that was filed by a 17-year-old in September over an alleged incident that took place at Morant's home in Tennessee. The teen claims they were playing a pickup game with Morant, 23, when the two got into a verbal disagreement. The teen says things got heated and he threw a basketball at Morant that accidentally hit the NBA player in the face. That's when Morant supposedly stopped and asked a bystander, should I do it to him? Wow. So he punched the team. Morant, according to the team, approached with a closed fist, knocking him to the ground.
You know what? A basketball in the face hurt like hell, and I don't think that was, oh, excuse me, I just threw a basketball and hit you in the face. That's his name, Ja Morant. Yeah, it sounded like that was done on purpose, and he was probably asking the guy, should I do it to him? Because these young people are so disrespectful, and they jump up. He's 17. He probably was jacking at the mouth, and he was like, okay, you want to jump up like a man? Let me punch you in your face like a man. Give me a basketball to the face and see what happens. It hurt like shit. I could imagine your nose and everything. I've been hit in the face with some balls before. Well, no, not like that, Michelle. See, Weezy, see how she do?
But see, the thing about that is, there was an incident with my daughter. They were playing basketball with their big cousin. She threw the ball and it hit my niece in the face. And was my niece upset? Yes, she was. But in the same token, she ain't jump on her and punch her in the face. Come on, man.
But
no,
the guy must have been doing something for him to ask a bystander, because usually when it happened an accident, we run there, you okay? Are you okay? But for the bystander to say, should I do it to him? For him to say, should I do it to him? I bet you the boy was running his mouth, because he did say he got mad and threw the ball at Morant. Your niece was an accident. Mine was an accident. But this dude got mad at a pickup game and said he threw the ball. And when he threw it, he said it accidentally hit the boy in the face. No, you didn't accidentally throw the ball. You threw the ball on purpose.
The boy said he accidentally hit him with the ball in the face. But nonetheless, him being an adult, come on, man. I don't care. He's 17 years old. He could have
teach him a lesson.
He could have easily dismissed that child. Look, man, get off my property. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Now he's facing a lawsuit. He know he in the limelight. This stuff come out. It could affect his whole career. So you have to think about some things. Just, is it worth it?
Right. Did he have any children? Because the children, a younger cousin or whatever. Oh.
That's what I was getting ready to say, because if you have kids, you're used to being hit by random things and you'll have more self control. I get hit with or been hit with so much stuff. When I get hit, I don't even feel it no more.
I mean, it's different, but the boy purposely threw the ball at him. He purposely threw the ball, and it just so happens if the ball would have hit it any place else, okay, fine. But it just so happened the ball got him in the face. Boop.
Well,
See, that's the difference
people
from an
gonna tempt you
accident.
with people gonna tempt you with evil all the time. It's up to us how we respond to it.
Yes.
You right,
Yeah.
Bernice. You
So
ain't never been hit in the face with the ball. I'm
yes, I
telling
have.
you.
I played football. I've been hit in the face. I've been tripped up and some more stuff, girl. And I
I,
wanted to
all,
fight.
look, all I know is the fight. When I
Me
get,
too.
you
I
know,
played football. I
that's
played soccer.
Right.
I used to play basketball and stuff with my cousin, the boy cousins, and they were
Yeah,
older than me.
exactly.
Man, I used to get tore up. And before we go further, great day, everyone in the comments, everybody watching. Thank you all for tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
like,
Hello.
share it. Let's get it out here. Share it so other people can come in. Bring your friends in with you so we can have a chat together, people. We're talking about today the 8 signs that you're in a controlling relationship. So every man grab a girl and listen to this, people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bernice, the next story.
Our next story is a Missouri inmate was put to death on Tuesday for a 2003 killing, becoming what is believed to be the first transgender woman executed.
Oh,
Amber McLaughlin, 49, was convicted of stalking and killing a former girlfriend, then dumping the body near the Mississippi River in St. Louis. Um,
wait a minute.
his fate was
Go
what?
back, Bernice. You said it was a transgender.
Yes,
Was it a man turning into a woman?
yes.
Okay, and he had a girlfriend.
Wait a minute. It says he was believed to be the first transgender woman executed. Yeah.
I wonder if he I was about to say transfer. If he transitioned because
After,
of the murder. He
maybe
probably
so.
did. Hmm.
Maybe so. But
Mm.
they say his fate was sealed earlier Tuesday when Republican Governor Mike Parson declined a clemency request. McLaughlin spoke quietly with a spiritual advisor at her side as the fatal dose of whatever that's called, pen, he was injected.
Mm.
McLaughlin breathed heavily a couple of times, then shut her eyes. She was pronounced dead a few minutes later.
Mm.
Yeah.
You did a heinous crime, whether you're a man or woman,
Thank
whether you was a woman was and turned to a man or a man turned into a woman. When you take a life and do a heinous crime like that, and it's clearly sound like a crime of passion because you went and got up and killed your ex girlfriend. It really amazes me how people that commit heinous crime that purposely take a life beg for their own life.
Yeah.
you.
Like
Wow.
I said, it's up to you. You do what you do in that moment of anger.
Yeah.
So, good news. Stranger buys a kid a grand piano after seeing him on the local news. So,
Oh.
11-year-old Jude Naami went viral for surprising his father one morning with seemingly overnight musical. He mastered music overnight. A local news station in Denver shared a video of his talent, and a viewer decided to buy him
Oh.
a grand piano. This little boy has autism, and they say he's a musical genius. It turns out Jude, like they said, who has autism, is a musical genius. So
Mm.
this man saw his video and he decided to buy him that piano.
Oh.
That's so
That's
wonderful.
Yeah.
oh, that's sweet. I'm
Okay.
so glad.
Goodness.
I'm gonna tell y'all this funny story. Burglars called 911 to get help moving stuff from a
What?
Florida home.
The burglars.
It's
Yeah.
always Florida, man.
It's the
It,
burglars called 911.
it says a couple arrested Saturday after one of them called 911 to get help with moving their belongings from a home they were burglarizing. So deputies responded to a home in Polk County after a 911 call was made, but nobody spoke. The Polk County sheriff said at the home, deputies concluded that nobody lived there. However, they found a male suspect and his girlfriend inside the home after entering it through an unlocked door. The suspect was soon identified in connection with another burglary. So they called 911 to get help with their thievery.
That's like me calling the police to get help with robbing the bank.
That is so crazy.
That's like what dumbest criminals. What the heck?
It's always Florida. What is going on there?
What is in the water in Florida? Look, it's the governor. It's the governor. That is hilarious.
I mean, Florida's called America's Wang for some reason. Good Lord.
Well, do we got another story, Bernice?
No, that's all for this
That
morning.
was it. You leave us on the crazy stuff.
Oh
God.
Lord, let's read some of these comments real quick.
Before we go to the video, what y'all saying in the comments? What
everybody saying hello, DJ Slicky Woo Boo. We got Nene in the house. Molly said that's why I'm not a organ donor.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Slicky say they take whole bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Larry says good morning, Queens. Oh Lord, DJ Slicky Woo Boo say Lady B, let's play football.
Oh goodness, he want to get tackled. That's what it sounds like.
That's exactly what he wants.
I'm
telling Mama.
Now you got Michelle telling on you, Slicky. She said she gonna tell Mama.
Yeah.
Look, Phoenix, you hear Slicky? He wants you to tackle him. He want all the ladies to tackle him.
Well, you better sit down somewhere.
He is. What else they said? Was that it?
No, Slicky just laughed at y'all.
DJ Slicky Woo Boo. All right, y'all. We about to get into this video of 8 ways. And men and women out there, please take note of this because I'm pretty sure this has happened to all of us. Let's roll the clip.
Let's continue. Have you ever wondered if you might be in a controlling relationship? Are you worried if you or your partner is too controlling over the other? No relationship is perfect. Relationships have highs and lows, and you're allowed to have disagreements. But there are some relationships that are too toxic and unhealthy to stay in. Having a controlling relationship with a partner is a form of emotional abuse, and it can have far-reaching effects on your life. With that said, here are 8 things controlling partners do. 1. They guilt you. Does your partner use guilt to coerce you into doing what they want? Do they blame you for small things that have very little consequence? Utilizing guilt is a common form of emotional manipulation. It can make you believe that their controlling behavior is due to something you did. For example, they may shame you merely for speaking to another coworker or a friend or spending extra time at work rather than with them. 2. They want to isolate you. Does your partner frequently complain about your loved ones or try to turn you against them? Isolation is another tactic used for gaining control and power in this type of unhealthy relationship. According to psychologist Andrea Bonnoir from Psychology Today, it's common for this attempt at isolation to begin more subtly, but then pick up in intensity as time goes on with more abject comments and criticisms of your loved ones. Number 3, they frequently criticize you. When someone criticizes you, do you notice your confidence break? Just a little? Even if it's short-lived, criticism is powerful because it takes a hit on your self-esteem. Over time, frequent, unnecessary criticism from your partner can make you feel worthless or like a failure. Keep in mind that these criticisms don't always have to be necessarily deep. It can be as superficial as your appearance, the shows you enjoy watching, or your hobbies. They frequently take little jabs at you in order to tear you down and force you to become the person they want you to be. 4. They're superficially charming. Why are controlling relationships so hard to recognize and so hard to leave? It's because controlling partners know how to charm you. It's another tactical form of manipulation that disguises itself easily as love, care, and affection to lure you in and keep you close. For example, the controlling partner might periodically buy you fancy gifts, shower you with attention, or exude a zealous amount of passion into the relationship. Number 5, there are cycles in the relationship. Are cyclical periods of ups and downs in your relationship. After an abusive incident, there's something that happens called the honeymoon period, where things seem promising. This honeymoon period can come with big apologies, gifts, and attention. It's important to remember to take a step back and see all the gestures for what they really are, a phase in the cycle of control. The controlling partner rotates between these phases in order to soften the impact of each abusive event, distract you from it, and get you back into their good graces. 6, they threaten you. Does your partner threaten you with violence or ultimatums? According to psychologist Andrea Bonnoir, the overarching purpose of making threats is for the controlling partner to pressure you to comply with them. They use fear as the ultimate tool for control. These threats can range from "I'll break up with you if you talk to him again" to "if you leave me, I'll hurt myself." 7, their love has conditions. Oftentimes, a controlling partner will increase the intensity of their love based on things like compliance or material accomplishments. Your partner might say, "You'd be hot only if you spent time on your hair," in order to place a certain value on their love for you. And 8, they try to brainwash you. Your values, ideas, and beliefs shape so much of who you are and give you a strong sense of individuality. However, in a controlling relationship, the controlling partner will try to undermine or discredit your beliefs in order to impose theirs on you. They might make you feel like your beliefs are wrong or faulty, causing doubt and ill confidence, making you less sure of who you are. Lowering your self-esteem is a way for them to come in and force their own values and beliefs onto you. Do you recognize any of these signs in your relationship? Let us know in the comments below.
Yes, Bernice. Good topic, sis. Good topic. Wow. So Michelle is a lot. Let's start with Michelle. Michelle, did you recognize any of those 8 signs?
Indeed, I did. Indeed, I did. And yeah, it's when you get involved with someone
Wait a
like
minute, wait a minute. Who got music playing?
Might be on. I don't know.
Okay, y'all.
that.
Go ahead, baby.
I was gonna say, when you get involved, like that's the self-esteem piece, what hit me the hardest, because that's what happens after repeatedly over a period of time. You just start wearing down and you feel like miserable. I can have some experience with this, and I would go to work and people liked me and they thought I had good ideas, and I get home and I was an idiot. I'd go out, we'd get dressed, and if I didn't put a sweater over my flabby arms, are you going to be wearing that? You sure you want to do that? And it's like, what? And again, this was 13 years with a man who said he loved me, but did these things to me without even thinking. And then if I did say something, I was too sensitive. I was being too emotional. It's yeah, and my family will say that I was brainwashed, and I think after a period of time when I turned into a fall down, wetting the bed drunk at the end of that marriage, and I was looking at myself in the mirror, and my daughters were watching the woman that I became. No, I couldn't let that person beat me at that time. So this hit me hard, and it takes a lot to leave and to find the strength within yourself when you've been told for so long you're worthless, when you're not. Because that's the thing, you get when you start getting the validation from outside. And yes, I had affairs because I was being treated a different way than what I was being treated at home. I felt crazy a lot of the time. So it's a slippery slope for a lot of people, and I still have baggage, I still have issues, and there are things that I have to address now, but that's life.
Wow. Bernice, um, you brought this to our attention, and I
Mm.
know you saw the video over and over again. Did you identify with that, and any of that in the video, any of those 8 signs?
I think for me, it was not in a personal or relationship I was in, far as a man, but it was more with family. So that's why it rings so true for me. I was in a relationship, and at that time, I was in a relationship with a female, and I couldn't even look at anybody.
Mm.
She would go
What?
off if I looked at somebody. What you looking at him for? And it was crazy stories where I mean she was just irate. Somebody look at me. She got snatched off the bus one night for going off because she thought, me and this guy had eye contact. I got right on the bus with my kids and kept it moving. So I know from different aspects of how it feels when someone tries to control your life. Um, but for me, in that situation, eventually I was like, I'm just done with this, and it affected me in a way to where I became like, ain't nobody doing that to me. It took a different turn for me where I was like, first sign I see, I'm out. I'm not dealing with that because in the long run, it can cause you emotional distress and all this stuff. And I just got to a point where it made me angry because I knew I was a good person. So it was no need to, because I'm committed. If I'm with you, I'm committed, period.
Mm.
So and on the family aspect, it was just, you know it was a controlling thing. My grandfather was a controlling person. I didn't hear I love you and things of that nature. It was like, you do what I say. And we grew up that way. So once I got grown, I was like, hey, I'm not dealing with this. I don't want no man who gonna treat me like that. So I've seen it not only for myself, but in the situation with their marriage, he was very controlling over my grandmother. So it definitely hit home for me.
Mm.
Wow. And Louisa, come on, my mental guru, my professor. I know you experienced, if not all 8 of these at one point in time. Talk to the people, Weezy.
Well, I did. So I am divorced as well. And I was with my ex from the age of 16 to we got divorced almost 4 years ago. And so 16 to 34, 30, 33. And so we went through a whole process of all of that. And I'm going to say too that I am guilty of the religious part of control. So I grew up in the church, and I always tried to get him to come to church and would tell him he was wrong because he didn't go, and you need to get saved. You need to do. Now I'm guilty of that. And I didn't realize that that was a form of control, me trying to make him um, come to church, and me trying to make him get saved, me trying to make him do those things that he didn't want to do. And of course, he was like, I ain't doing shit. But I was fighting for years to make him do it. And eventually I got to the point where I stopped doing that. I stopped because I was like, I shouldn't be doing this, but I didn't realize that was some type of me trying to have control over his spirit. Other than that, I experienced the other things. I never did any of those other things to him or anybody I've dealt with, but I have experienced. And those things, a lot of time, people don't realize that's what they're doing. Some of them do. Some of them do.
Mm.
But a lot of people do not realize that they are controlling. A lot of people don't realize that they are abusive. One, because they grew up that way. Two, because this is normal for them. So they're going to put on you what they've experienced themselves because they had not taken the time to deal with their shit. I mean, I ain't got no other word to put it. Deal with this shit.
That was good.
And so just like me, we've known each other at that time, from 16 to our 30s. So we went through a lot of stuff. A lot of things from both our past came into the relationship. We had kids, and we had to grow up. Unfortunately, I did more growing than he did. He's doing growing now. We're not together. I'm very proud of him. But at that time, he was still
this, that, and that, and that. It was hard, but coming out of that, and even before I left, began seeing things that I didn't like about myself because I allowed a lot of things. I accepted a lot of things. And I had to take accountability and responsibility for my part in that controlling / abuse. And the long lasting effects of that is mental and emotional. And that's why it takes so long, and that's why it hurts. And Michelle, I'm sitting there like, don't cry. Don't cry with Michelle. Don't cry with because I am one. I see somebody crying and I get the feeling and we crying together. But I understand why that hurt you, because you saw yourself. You used alcohol as a protection layer, as a defense mechanism. And it took for you to look at yourself and realize, wow, this example. But see, because we allowed ourselves to stay there because we love this person. And it's not saying that you didn't, but our definition of love comes from our experiences and what we understand and what we were taught. And so men too, it's a lot of men. I know a lot of men that dealt with very controlling women, and it's because of their mothers. And it's because of maybe their fathers or their uncles or grandpas or aunts, grandma. We go off what we see. And until you grow up and see and deal with this mess yourself, you're going to keep doing it. Hurt people, continue to hurt people. But they sometimes don't realize that they're hurting people. They don't realize that they're hurt.
But sometimes they do. I'm going to say this. I don't know if I'm listening to each of you story, and I'm saying to myself, when I saw the video, I've been through all 8 of those things. And I noticed with my panel of women today, my panel of guests, you all have this one thing in common. You all was once married. And I'm thinking, is it because of marriage? And only you now are divorced. You're single. You guys was once married, but now you're single. And I've never been married, but I've experienced every controlling thing on that list from the beginning to the end. To when it got verbal, when it got physical, and I didn't move quickly enough to stay because I thought that person needed me, because that person guilted me and saying that they was going blind. They did the pity. You did all of this crap to me, and then I didn't leave because I felt sorry for you. But guess what? That nigga still singing. He's better than me. 2020 vision. I was stupid back then. And
I wouldn't say stupid, Reese, because I was in a relationship. I met my kid's father when I was 17 and he was 16, and he grew up with manipulation. Both of his parents were addicts. So he knew my love for him. So he went out, he cheated, he did all this different stuff. And I found the reason I stayed is because I longed for love. The love I didn't get as a child. I longed for it. And he knew how much I loved him. So he knew I wasn't going to leave. I wasn't going to leave. And if I left, I was always coming back.
Let me tell you what this joker did. Me and him living together, he had the gall, the audacity to bring another woman into our home. I got off work early.
Fire.
And the lady was sitting there with her 4-year-old daughter at the time. He done took one of the mattress or made a pilot on the floor. It was right when that movie Ricochet came out. That's why I hate that movie. Ricochet. I come in the door early. I hear the music, playing my stereo system, my records. He's laying on the floor on the pallet sleeping. She's sitting there with her child. And they just having a good old time. I come in and she looking at me, oh, hi. I'm like, who are you? And she said, you must be the cousin. There's a picture of me and him.
The cousin?
Sitting on the TV. What cousins is going to be in a heart frame sitting on the TV hugged up? You must be the cousin. I said, no, I'm the lady of the house. I live here. That was a controlling relationship. And then he got up. We got into an argument. He took her home. Me and the girl had words. And he gonna have the nerve to tell me, you not going nowhere. I said, I'm leaving. First of all, you said that you needed me there because you was going blind. You got physical. You got abusive. Then you had the audacity to bring somebody else in my face. You talked about my weight. You talked about my hair, how I look, how I talk, everything. You tried to belittle me. I was in a full-fledged abusive relationship. I wonder, is that why I'm not married today? Because I got that experience early of all of that crap. And trust and believe that was not a good. Know who the word calling me at this time of day? Trust and believe that was not a good thing, and I feel the emotional impact on that. And then it takes me back to my childhood. That same kind of stuff was happening to me mentally. That controlling, because I remember with my mom and being punishment, she tried to cut me off from the rest of the family. She wouldn't let me see my grandparents. I couldn't go. I couldn't do nothing. Couldn't cry for help. He tried to do the same thing. He tried to cut me off from the rest of my family. They can't call you. They can't this. They can't that. And it's true. What don't break you make you stronger. But I've been going through that years and years, and I'm still going through it. Years of getting myself better and well. But now I love myself, and I'm still working out some things. But the way I feel now, when I look back on that, it makes my heart physically ache inside, because I feel like if I didn't do that stuff back then, where would I, or where could I be now? I know that.
Well, I don't think you should feel good. And like Molly said, we all have it's healing that needs to be done.
Yes.
And she done froze. And so can we, if you don't mind, ladies, can we address the question that Malik put in the chat?
I can't see no.
Why do people think when they get married all their problems go away? I like that.
I never made that assumption.
Wait a minute, but what was the question? I couldn't hear y'all.
Why do people think when they get married all their problems go away?
Who think that? What woman?
No, he didn't say women. He said people, but this is very true.
I agree.
I never thought that.
I agree with Phoenix. See, we're a split panel this morning, ladies. But go ahead. I want to cut you off, Phoenix or Lady B. But I mean, in my perception, it's kind of like what we're taught. I mean, or at least like how I grew up. I was taught, we're gonna get married, and yeah, my mother did tell me marriage wasn't gonna be a fairy tale. But for whatever reason, the one thing that confuses me is when this ring goes on a person's finger, it goes boop. All my sexual desires for other people have magically gone away. I don't get it. It's work. It's a relationship. Problems don't go away. That's the one thing I learned when I was getting sober. No matter where I go, there I am. So
that's true.
You better say that.
There I am. And as long as I have that baggage with me, I'm bringing it with me wherever I go.
That's right. I say this a lot. I even tell my son this. When stuff is in your face and is presented to you, you don't push it aside. You don't go under it. You don't go around it. You go through it. That is the only way you can resolve an issue. If you go through that joker and bust it up, and I'm guilty of that. Or you put it on a back burner. I don't want to talk about this now. Or you put it to the side, or you pretend it don't happen or it didn't exist. And you can't do that. You can't live your life running from the issue that you need to deal with. That's why I go through it now. I've learned that I go through that. I'm gonna bust it up. I'm gonna go right through that joker, so it ain't gonna come to haunt me no more again. That's probably why I'm single now too. But and a controlling relationship, and ladies, all of us are children. Are we controlling parents? Are you one of those controlling mothers? That you try to control your children? Okay, Phoenix, you go first with this. Are you a controlling mother?
No. You have to learn how to pull back. Parents that control are very selfish, and you want your child to be what you want them to be. And like I said, sometimes they don't realize that that's what they're doing. But no, I'm not a controlling parent. I give my children space because I want them to be an individual. I also try to make sure that I'm here for them. But no, I'm not a controller. But now you gonna do what you're supposed to do. But when it comes to yourself as an individual, when it comes to your mind, your creativity, no, it's whatever you need to do. No, I'm not a controlling parent.
Okay. And Bernice, do you
Yeah.
feel that
No,
you're controlling?
no, no. Actually, from the way I grew up, I decided to give my children a little more freedom because there was a lot that we couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? And we couldn't speak. You shut up. You're a child. You don't say anything. I've given my kids the space where they can come to me and say, "Mom, look, this is what's going on." Blah blah blah. Not uh, because I want them to know that their voice matters. And I can't. I've never been a controlling parent. I can say at one point I was a helicopter parent. you know, I was always, and it was my goal to protect them from all the things that I had been through. So I've never been controlling. Um, just like I said, they're adult. Most of them are adults now, and I'm just like, I'm here for you. But now you have to find your way. I've never tried to control them because I want them to have that freedom. Had I done that, they wouldn't be entrepreneurs and seeking out things that they really enjoy because they feel like, oh, I gotta be who mom said I gotta be because I was always told who I had to be.
Makes you
Okay.
feel like a
Michelle.
failure when you don't do what your parents expect of you to
Mm-hmm.
do. And I
Yeah.
and I taught I have a 20-year-old, and I talked to him because they live, all my children have the same father, but my son now is living with his dad, and so his father is very much like his mother, and that used to drive me crazy because that woman, whew, she's getting a lot better too, though. She's gotten a lot better, but I'm very proud of both of them. But so I have to mother him from all the way over here. So I'll call him or I'll text him. But I, like you said, Lady B, I had to back up too because you want to protect your children and you want to make sure they're okay and you want to teach them. But we also, especially young men, have to allow them to grow up and have to
Yeah.
allow them to be men. And we have to allow the male figures, or in this case, his father, to, I guess, do his job. But what I do as his mother is I encourage him and I send him messages. And
Yeah.
if he would like to talk to me, he knows he can call me. And if I, feel like I need to call him for some reason, I'll call and just say, "Hey, how you doing?" Da, da, da. And we had a about an hour long conversation last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? And it was a really great conversation. I had to let him know that, listen, I'm your mom. You're over there with your dad and your grandmother, but I need you to understand that what you want to do is what you should do. Don't
Mm-hmm.
worry about doing something because dad said it's going to make you a lot of money. You can do that, but you're going to fall out of it because you're just going for the money. Yeah, you need money to pay your bills. You need money to do what you have to do. You have to be responsible. But the fact of the matter is, if you go this route, eventually you're not going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do what
Now,
you want to
Michelle.
do and be happy with it, but make sure you're
Exactly.
able to make money too.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, please. Okay, we got her point. Now, Michelle,
Mm.
go.
I mean, well, again, that's similar to you ladies. How I grew up was, I was told not to leave the stoop. If I wanted to wear something like a pair of clogs or something, my mother would be like, "No, I wore them. They're terrible. You don't want to wear them." Or constantly, again, children were to be seen, not heard, and my mother was very like, "Rah!" Very worried about the world and me being snatched. I don't know why. Somebody's gonna return me.
She
But
wasn't
with
a
my
controlling parent.
children, what's that?
I said, but the question was, are you a controlling parent?
No.
Not
At this point in time, I feel my role as a mother is to love my children, is to support them, is to make them feel safe and to make them feel valued. Regardless,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've gotten to the point where I think I tell my girls often, don't do what you think you think mommy wants you to do. Don't think my expectations of you is to be a kind person, be true to yourself, love yourself, and go out into the world and do the things that bring your heart joy. Because as I've gotten older, and again, as I've had these experiences, we all know it's like when we are not being honest with ourselves and authentic with ourselves, and walking around as it we're being somebody that we think somebody else wants us to be, eventually I think it will blow up. It does blow up. Or at least in my experience, it did blow up. So at least I feel my role as a mother, like again, we are teachers. I want you, my children, I mean, they're still going to go out and do it, but I'm at least trying to teach you and show you my path wasn't the best path, but I will still support you, and you should go out and make these choices because you need to experience these things.
Okay. So now I'm going to tell you all of y'all was married and divorced. All of you got multiple kids, right? Y'all got all of that in common. I'm going to tell the truth. Yes, I was a controlling parent. I had the one child and I was a single mom, no daddy in the house. So yeah, I took control. I was a helicopter mama. I'm just getting out of that. I'm being totally honest. I was on my son's ass all the time about being this, and that, because I didn't want him to make the mistakes that I made. You know what he told me one day? He turned around and said, Mom, you always talking about how you make your scrapes and your bruises. He said, I want to get my own bruises. 19. I said, you what? He said, you learned by bumping your head, right? You got your scars. My son told me I want to get my own scars.
I know and that's right, Ty.
When I pulled back and said I can't control what he do no more. I can't do that. I thought that I was molding him to be a decent person, and because I just had too much hands on. Because you know what else? I was fearful that he's going to go out and something happened to him, because he's all that I have.
Yeah.
He's all that I got. So all of my energy, all of my worry, my stress, all of my control went on him. And it was to protect him as a mom. Now I had to pull back, but and I'm not a helicopter mom anymore. I'm not a control freak mom anymore. I'm learning that. But it took me years to get out of that, because my child, I was only child, single parent. I thought all my son was all that I had. And I needed to protect him. So I wanted to full warrior mode with it. Like, ain't nobody gonna hurt my son. I was even down on his job. He used to work at Sharper's Food Warehouse, right? I even would have had a tea with the manager, because he had a schedule. I took him to work, and I'm looking at his schedule. When we get to work, she wasn't gonna work him that day. And I said, you cannot do that. He show up and then you tell him you don't need him. He on this schedule. You better let him work. That's law. I was ready to whoop that manager ass. Tyree got fired, but
oh no,
because when I was like, you ain't gonna be having him come in here. It costs to get the bus in here. It costs gas. You ain't gonna be taking him off the schedule. And he wanted to work. He needed the hours just to put somebody else on. She hired too many people. Didn't know how to do the schedule. I said, he ain't gonna be the example. I said, Miss So-and-so, we the same age. Don't let me snatch you over that counter.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
But that was the protective mother in me. I didn't like nobody trying to do him wrong, trying to take advantage. And I'm like that now. When I go into that mama bear mode, you can fuck with me all day. I take it to whatever. I digress. But when you mess with the cub, I go into a full lunatic rage.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think that's most mothers. Not lunatic. I ain't going up to their job. I'm not going up to the job. But I've been.
I had to drop him off. I would just get off of work, and I would have to go in between. I was tired as fuck when I'm coming from Georgetown, and I had to go all the way up there to Shoppers in Largo to take him there. And then we get there. She was like, "Oh, you could go back home." That's disrespectful. That's not.
It is, but she can do that. She can do that. She's in a position to do that. And sometimes we're not gonna like what happens in the world. It's unfair. But what can you do? And he lost his job because he lost his job because you took it to the extreme. Now
I ain't going up to the legal. I was, but then a little while after that, she lost her job too.
She may have, in the same token, he could have still been working, Reese.
I know, right? I felt bad. He had tears in his eyes. He was like, "Boy, you always embarrass me. You go on because I go to the school. Who messing with you?" And now I know why. When he was getting bullied, he wouldn't say shit. He wouldn't say a word because he said that he was scared that I was going to go off. He said that the teasing would have been worse. That he go to school and they say your mom was up here fighting. And I did not know my child was being bullied. I kid you not.
Oh, my kids will tell me in a minute because I'll let them know. See, I found out when I was having my kids, because I have more kids than everybody here, but people tend to judge that and think, oh, she ghetto, she blah blah blah. They put a label on you. And I told him, I said, one thing about me, I'm not going to the school. I'm not going to act all outrageous, but I do know the chain of command. And if you won't act right, I'm going to your boss. And then they got a boss. And then if the principal, all of them don't want to do right, guess what? I'm going to the board. It was an incident. The principal acted like she didn't want to do nothing because my daughter was being bullied. I went and made me a sign, got me a chair, and sat in front of the school. You don't want to do nothing? You say no child left behind? Let's get it done. You know what I'm saying? But in the same token, I'm not going up to no jobs because they have to have that experience of advocating for themselves.
You right. And maybe that's why my son, you guys know him by now, but Weezy know him like the best. He's soft-spoken. He's quiet. My son, I always say I worry about him because he got the makings of a killer. Because when there's always the quiet ones, there's always the reserve. But when he goes,
oh God,
don't be talking about Ty. Don't be talking about Ty. That's because he's an Aries. But men, a lot of men are very quiet. We don't see, men aren't really loud unless they have to be. A lot of men are very quiet. And I think not sometimes, us women need to learn how to be quiet. Us women need to learn how to observe and pay attention and speak when necessary. Because sometimes we don't need that. That's too much. Nobody can hear you. Nobody can hear you. And it gets. He said, "Well, exactly, sweetheart. Men are quiet, and men who aren't quiet are ladylike." That's true. But it's because a lot of times they were raised around mothers that are loud and rah, rah, rah. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm not a rah, rah, rah person, but I would be ready to fight. Not for my kids. I mean, not, because somebody but no, that's not what I meant. For my children, yes, but I'm not going to physically fight. First of all, I'm grown and I ain't got time to be going to jail. I got to take care of my babies. But like Lady B said, there is a chain of command. And I also know how to cuss you out without using a cuss word. I also know how to come to you and say, excuse me, if we have an issue, you need to talk to me. That is a child. You don't talk to my children. I'm one of them parents who will take your child and my child to your house and we're going to talk about it. Now, if you lay hands on me, that's when it's going to be an issue. But I have never, ever, as an adult, had to physically fight because I know how to handle my business. Yeah. But there are, no, I'm just saying, but there are other parents that are ghetto like that and that wanted to fight me. And I'm like, I'm not going to hit you first. You know why? Because I'm going to beat your ass after you hit me and your ass going to jail because it's self-defense. You got to know how to take care of yourself. My children have never, ever seen me get in a fight. Why? Because they're not going to. Yeah. They're not ever going to. They have seen me argue only because I was being attacked. But they understand that mommy is their advocate. And that if I need to go and handle business, that's what I'm going to do. Exactly. Even for my man, because just like sometimes women get in men's faces like they men. No, get out my man's face, first and foremost, because who you talking to? You're not going to put him in a situation where he can get in trouble. Nah, fuck that. You got a problem, you talk to me. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to talk to me because if you touch him, I'm touching you. Yeah, first,
y'all better make sure y'all can win the fight before.
I ain't worried about winning the fight because first and foremost, don't touch him. Don't touch my kids. Now, there's a difference if my children are doing something wrong and you come in and correct them. Don't hit them, but you can't correct them and bring them to me. I will appreciate that because we need the community. It takes a village to raise these children. Now, some of these people in the village ain't right. Yes, but if you are proper And hey, you know your mother don't like your mother ain't like that. You know your mother don't allow you to act this way. And you come tell me we gonna have this conversation because I appreciate that. Because I'm gonna do the same to you.
Girl, let's
But
read these
don't be
comments.
hood. Huh? What did it say?
Let's
Let me
read
see.
these comments on the side. I see stuff popping
Malik
up.
been on it.
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to the top. Who can I get a volunteer reader? Can I get some eyes?
I'll read. Where we at? You want to go to the top? No, Lady B already read some stuff. Let's see. Okay. Slicky crazy. He said, Malik said marriage is a contract between you and the state, has nothing to do with each other. Slicky said you need to talk to a doc. Reese, no joke. Malik, and that ring represents Saturn of God, Saturn, the god of this world. Slicky, I talked to my doc. That's great, Slicky. You need to keep talking. Malik, you're single because you choose to. He talking to you, Reese.
You talking about me?
Yeah. And he said,
ain't all of us single.
He said, why would you choose to be single? That's the question. Malik also said, you are teachers, not controllers. This is true. He said, that's right. Children should be quiet. After all, they don't know anything. Laugh out loud. Slicky said, thank you, Weezy. I've been hit for saying that. Malik said, children are useless, in my opinion, especially respectfully. Can you elaborate on that, Malik, please? And thank you. Malik said, she's right. He also said, encourage children, either inspiration. He said, you shouldn't make any decisions. He should listen and learn. Oh, he must have been talking about my son. Children should be seen and not heard. That's a wonderful motif. He also said, our job is to find their talent and lead them in a direction. That's all. That's true. No offense to no one in America knows how to properly raise a child respectfully. Can you elaborate that on what as well? Kenneth said, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said, no, I believe that too. Nobody in America, because we got that slave mentality and raising and rearing our kids. So,
I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I respectfully disagree.
It's traces and signs of it from back when we were slaves, even into the discipline part. That comes from that.
But not all parents raise their kids.
That's true.
Not all parents raise it. Again, with the generalizing. No parent is perfect. We do not know it all. We've all made mistakes.
That's what we said,
and that's just fact. But to say nobody know how, I like I said, I was a young mother, so no way, shape, or form was I perfect. But I gave my kids all that I knew and all that I learned in the process. I gave it back to them.
And that's,
you know what I'm saying? So nobody's perfect, but no, some of that stuff.
There is no perfect parent anywhere, America or not, because there is no guideline. Right. You learn with I don't care how old you are. You can be 50 and have your first child. You're still learning. Every child is different.
And you learned from what you grew up, what you were exposed to. Those parents are your teachers, and some teachers are better than others.
Yeah.
And some teachers aren't aware or aren't as self-aware either. So they just perpetuate those same cycles.
Yeah.
And some things you learn on your own, because like my kids, I have 5 sons who are 31 to 27. Then I had 4 more kids, you know what I'm saying? So I learned things from raising my 5 that I didn't do with my 4 youngest because I realized the mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into reading.
Okay. Kenneth said, this is so true. A lot youth I speak with say this is a reason why they be at odds with their parents, because parents want them to be what they want them to be, and they aren't trying to go that route. Malik said, don't say multiple. Laugh out loud. He also said he was right, and you should have known that. Slicky said, yes, Tyree. Malik said, nobody can control anybody. That's what we have to understand. Malik also said, why is our sense of protection so high? He also said, you was wrong for that. Laugh out loud. She can do that. It's the way the world works. I can't remember who he responded to. Okay. He also said, I think she's over paranoid about her children. He must be talking about Reese. No, that was just the violence in you. He talking about Reese. And he said, there's no excuse.
Negative is me.
No, because you was talking about how you was the job. So that's why I know, because it popped up when you were talking about the child. And Slicky said, "Talk, go see the doctor, Reese." Malik said, "Never from emotions." He also said, "Yes, she messed it up on her parenting skills." Laugh out loud. He said, "You got to get the hood out of you, sweetheart." Laugh out loud. And he said, "People judge all the time, even y'all do. We do. People do. And you do it the legal way." He's talking about Lady B. And then he said, okay, I already read that. Slicky said, "So fucking true. Keep it real. Ty is the GOAT from Kenneth. It's your
Oh,
God-given right to defend yourself. Where have you been on my what? Because you're mature. Okay. My mother told me I got your back only if you're telling the truth."
right.
He also said, "That's the part about it when we never slave. Oh, that's the part about it. We will never slave. So what are we teaching our children?" He said, "Raising children has nothing to do with being perfect. It's what we're taught in order to teach them. That's the question. We don't teach our children principles. We raise our children to believe. We don't raise them to be knowing."
Wow. I'm going to raise this for you, Malik Bey. I welcome you to come onto the Morning Max show and have a discussion with us. And when you do, I'm going to have the same panel of these three ladies, if possible. We're going to schedule that. Malik, if you're willing to come on, we would love to have you and talk to you. I don't know how old you are. I don't know who you are, but you do sound like a knowledgeable young. I'm hoping you're a man. Is that the man name? You sound like you have a
You can
lot of
tell by the
knowledge.
way he speaks that it's a man. And that's not a bad thing. I'm saying it's just you could tell how men are very calculated,
Yeah.
and it's like we can be too, but men are naturally calculated, and they see he's 52, and you could just tell by what they're saying that it's a man.
And I'm liking what he's he got my attention, and I'm like, he's right. I agree on a lot of stuff. Some stuff not so much, but most of the stuff what he was saying, and I'm going to apologize to everybody now for being violent and for being overbearing, because all of you, I look at all of my girlfriends right here that I'm looking at, I will fight for each and every last one of you. Don't get it twisted, because I'm a protective mother. Am I a hovering friend? I probably am. But am I a controlling friend? No, because I digress from that. But don't get it twisted. I love all of my ladies, my beautiful panel. Bernice, I asked Bernice, who did something to you? Let's go. Clap it up. And I said,
You better put them fists down, young lady.
Clap it up. And the things, we just ready. I got all of you got ladies back, because I know you got my back, and I love you all.
We gonna have each other's back without going to jail, because we got too much responsibility out here. Anybody got time for that?
I got papers. I ain't going to jail.
I walk away.
I got the papers to get me.
I ain't gonna tell you I ain't never.
But we ain't got the damn papers, Reese.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I gotta watch myself then. I gotta, see, okay. We won't say that for the bar show. But I do want to tell everybody two things. Tonight, Jay got a place. I can't think of 7101 Georgia Avenue. Is that the right address?
7303.
7303 Georgia Avenue. Just is performing tonight. Woo! And it's going to be like that. It's $10 for admission. I think showtime, it starts at 8. So if you guys can go support Just, he doing his thing tonight. And also, y'all got superstars on the panel, because me and Weezy, our movie coming out. It's not our movie.
Oh, yeah. We were in the movie, yeah.
Bummer. Molly, show them the thing for Bum. That's right. It's called Bum Her. It's a play on the word bummer, but it's Bum Her. But it's good. And I pause. My part ain't little, but me and Weezy, we're going to be on the red carpet on January 28th. Greenbelt Movie Theater. Y'all get y'all tickets, come out, support. You can meet me. You can get my autograph. And we can take pictures. Yes. And I'm going to act like a megalomaniac that day.
Oh, my goodness.
Get on the red carpet. I'm going to get on that carpet and act a fool. I might do a cartwheel on the carpet, baby.
Oh,
yes.
Lord. Oh, Lord.
Look, I'm going to bring my good legs with me. and I ain't going to jail. I'm bringing my good leg with me.
Not that night.
Yes, yes. I'm excited. I'm excited. Who is Gucci?
Oh, that's my sister. My nephew took over her YouTube channel and changed the name.
Oh, okay. I just saw Gucci popped up.
Yeah, that's my sister. She's
Oh,
watching from YouTube.
yes. January 28th. If y'all not doing nothing that Saturday, I hope we can get everybody in the house full effect. It was How We Do Little Project. And he's been known to do some good movies. We used to tell him about it. I'm so excited. Just tell him a little bit before we go, please.
Well, Bum Her is about a young lady who's been looking for love, of course, and she hasn't found any, and she just had, of course, a situation, an altercation, not a physical, but a situation that occurred, and she ended up finding her love in the least expected way. So,
Right.
So yeah,
it's a little comedy in there. It's some little serious moments, but it's really good.
yes, 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 it is. And I'm not saying that because I'm in it. I'm just saying it because and I see myself in them characters, and y'all gonna see yourself too in them characters.
Hold on, before you go, I gotta address this. Malik said, "Name one thing your children are useful for." Love.
I was about to say unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
And getting on your nerves. That's part of their love.
That's enough for me.
That's their charm.
My child gives me my inspiration for me to keep going. If it was not for my child, me having my child, ain't no telling where I would have been. Because I want my child made me to be a better person. My child when I say that made me to be a better person. My child makes me want to be a better person, a better me for me. Mm-hmm. So he gives me that push so I can be the best that I can, not for him, but just for the rest of the world. Because if I want him to be a better me, we got to stand up and do it first.
Yeah.
We lead by example. You said it yourself, Malik, we're teachers.
That is correct.
So our child is good for loving on us, giving us motivation, helping us with direction and guidance, and keeping us on the right track, the right path, Malik.
Exactly.
What you trying to say? Our children are good. We got some good children. Ain't none of them in jail. Ain't none of them got a police record. And all of them are very studious. Malik, what you say about our kids, Malik?
We are supposed to be better for ourselves, Malik, but sometimes people don't see that until they have children. Sometimes it gets worse when they have children because that selfish mentality is still there. But what do you say? I don't know if they're what? I don't know if they're good, but they obey. You need to stand in the corner. Yeah, a lot of a lot of people are selfish. I'm sorry, Lady B, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Like I said, everybody is different. Everybody gets their inspiration from where they get their inspiration from. Like I said, it depends on where you come from. Yeah. Where you come from. From my background, like I said, I didn't feel love. So I got all that love from my children. Because if most parents, even if you make your child mad, within 5 minutes, they back up under you saying, "Mom, what you doing?" Mm-hmm. That's that unconditional love. And I can't say all children give it, but mine did, even in my imperfection. So that's what motivated me to be better.
Well, I say all children do try to give it. It's the parent that pushes the children away. We're born in love. We are love. Yes. This is what the core of us are, and that's the problem. People don't understand that all the love that you need is within yourself. But sometimes you need somebody to show that light so you can receive and get that love. Children are born with love. They radiate love. It's us that makes that love go away or buries it. We are the problem. The parents are the problem because we're raising them, and so they have it. They have it. Yeah. My mother was the same way. She was like, she didn't get much love at home. And so the love we gave her was what helped her.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, everybody's different. I refuse to believe if my child punched me in my eye that they love me. I'm sorry. That's not love. I mean, it's just because I investigate so many stories and I see the things that children are killing their parents for. And I'm like, that's definitely mental health. But you can't possibly love me if you treat me like that. And that's my that's just my perspective on it. We all have our own experience. We all have our own thoughts on it. But that's just,
Yeah.
Ladies, we ran out of time. We gotta do this. Michelle, I know you're going on your trip, and I
Yes.
wish you safe travels, my
Oh,
baby,
have fun.
and blessing and praying for you.
Thank you.
And
It'll be fun.
yeah, she's going to Puerto Rico, y'all, but it's for work. So you know how that works. You go for work, whatever. But baby, safe travels. Don't take Southwestern Airlines, or you're gonna still be sitting with us by the time Saturday comes. Then you're gonna be late for your work and all that stuff. I'm just saying. Don't right now they got problems right now.
So. Oh no, I ain't flying Southwest nor Spirit. I'm gonna be making sure I'm getting back and forth.
I tell you, listening, because I've never flown. So I plan on flying soon. And I've listened to people's stuff. No Southwest and no Spirit. Thank you.
Well, I used to fly Southwest. It used to be good. But right now, it's messed up. Because that's how I used to get around all the time. Mm-hmm. But we're going to stay there for another show. Weezy, when are you available to come back with me and Lady B?
We'll talk because I got to check my schedule.
Thank you. And Michelle, I know you'll be back soon. Michelle won't be with us this Friday, or maybe she will, maybe she won't. She's going to be on a beach somewhere if she know what's good for her. And Lady B, Miss Sparkle Bell, that's my boo. And
Miss Chocolate Love up there.
Miss Chocolate Love. And I want to thank her for being a part of the Morning Mac show. And I see great things for us going into the new year coming. We're going to travel. If I got to get and drive myself, me, Molly, and Lady B going to go out there to the people. We're going to drive somewhere. If look, Jesus take the wheel because Reese can't see. Hello.
Molly taking the wheel. Molly gonna take the wheel. Hey, Dare. Yeah. Molly gonna take the wheel because Jesus gonna take it, but you need not to be behind it. Okay.
And at night, I can see in the daytime. I can see in the day. I ain't hurt nobody. Weezy, you done with me before. I ain't hurt nobody.
I still got some stuff I need to do for the Lord, honey. You can't kill me.
I'm not trying to. I'm not going to hurt y'all.
Still got work to do.
I'm not going to hurt my sisters. Y'all hurt my feelings. Malik just said I was violent. Everybody said put every violent.
You know we love you, Reese. You're very passionate. You are a little violent, though. You are violent, but you're very passionate about those you love. And you're going to make sure they know it with your fists.
I'm getting trapped in a car and take us on a road trip.
Malik said the permanent squad. I don't know what that means, but okay.
All right, y'all. We got to go out here and end this. And I'm going to end this on the note. This book is still available. I'm working on the second one, and hopefully by March, because each and every lady on this panel got this book. We're going to do, when Michelle gets back, we're going to do a week of review with the Shades of Blue. So those of you guys who didn't get it, we will go in and dissect the chapters in. Mm-hmm. And once we finish Shades of Blue, we're going to go to Bernice's book. And then once we finish with Bernice's book, hopefully we can get it done. And then this is when Michelle get back. I'm announcing it to the world. Then we're going to go on Weezy's book. Because we're going to start talking about everything, because we put our feelings and stuff in there.
Weezy don't have her book yet. It's written, but it's not published.
Yeah, I was your poems out of it.
I was a co-author.
Oh, read a few poems. Okay.
Oh, well, we're gonna make sure we get through whatever it is that you do, Bernice. Yes, we're gonna make sure. You co-author, you wrote some stuff, so we're gonna go through your stuff. And Michelle, if you want to write a paragraph, we're gonna go through that too.
I'd love to.
Dang on right.
Ladies.
Well, as always, this has been the RMB show. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for all your comments. We love you. And until next time, we're out.
Thank you, Malik.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Slicky, Malik. I can't see the people, y'all, so y'all got to help me out.
Nene came through, DJ Slicky Woo Boo, all those, everybody.
Gucci Lomain.
If we miss a name, charge it to our head and not our heart.
Yes, Alan. And Larry, Loki
Larry.
came in. Yes.
You.
So thank you. Thank you guys.